Granny Maggie from Granny Magick, as always honoring your magic. I have been asked to talk a little bit about working with candles, specifically how to use the candle dressing that I have in my shop and how to use oils to dress a candle. There's a lot of different candles you can use in candle magic. There's the little tea candles that I use a lot. There's the little chime candles, which really come in handy. And there are actually even special little holders you can get to hold those candles up. I sell those in my shop. And then, of course, there's the glass candles. And depending on what you're doing and how long you need that candle to burn, you will make your choice. So one of the things that you can do if you have a candle, and I do this often, is you can sprinkle a little bit of the candle dressing right on top, just like that. It doesn't take much. And the dressing that I'm using here is money, prosperity candle dressing. And then if you want to, I don't have an eyedropper, but you can always put a little drop of oil on the top. Now be careful, because anytime you start adding herbs and oils to candles, they're going to burn differently than they would have otherwise. And usually they're going to burn hotter, and they're a little bit more dangerous to work with. So fire safety becomes really important. Don't leave a candle in a room unattended. If you're leaving, extinguish the flame. Safety always comes first. Now, if you're using something like a chime candle, which is what a lot of us use, one of the things that you can do is to dress it with a little bit of oil. And here's my prosperity money oil. And since we want that money to come to us, we want to draw it in. Some people start at the bottom and come to the top to draw it in. I was taught you go from the end to the middle, just like that, and a little more oil. You don't need very much. And from here to the middle, you're drawing it in. You're drawing it into the center of the candle. Symbolically, you're drawing it into yourself. You're drawing it into your spell if you use this method. So either method works. Either drawing it from the bottom all the way up towards yourself, or from each end towards the middle. Then you can take your candle and roll it so you get just a light coating of candle dressing sticking on the candle. You don't need an overloaded candle like you see being sold, or an overloaded candle that you see in a lot of spell work on video. It looks fantastic, but you're talking major fire hazard, and it doesn't need it. This will set your intention nicely. And then if you put it in a little chime holder, you would be all ready to draw that money in. Very simple, very simple. Sometimes if I'm going to be doing a spell over a number of days, or if I'm doing, and this doesn't happen very often, spell work for somebody, I use these bigger candles, these big pillar candles, because they burn longer. And one of the things that you can do to help prepare a candle, you take something sharp like a nail or a little knife, something sharp, and you draw a symbol of what it is you want to draw in. And here, I'm not very good at candle carving, and the nail I brought up didn't work out all that well today. A lot of times I'll heat them and use them. But there's a $sign on here to symbolize bringing money my way. And so on this candle, we can also dress the candle. It's going to take more oil, but we're going to be burning this candle probably over a period of days. And I'm going to make sure to get some in that carving. And then I'm going to put some at the bottom to bring it into me. Money, come to me. Thank you for the prosperity, whatever little thing you want to say. And now the candle is ready to be dressed. It's a larger candle, so I'm going to do more like a pouring over it of the herbs, a little sprinkling here. But I'm going to make sure with this carving right here to rub some of the herbs into the carving just like this. You can see the symbol that you carve is much clearer. It really stands out in relief to what's around it. And pillar candles you need to be careful with as well. But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll set them in a bowl because they stand fairly upright. or you can get a large candle holder for these too. A lot of times we use glass encased candles because we want them to burn a while. Now, some people think they are safer. If you've ever had one of these heat up, crack, and explode on your altar, you'll know that that's a myth. Please be careful, even with glass enclosed candles. I've had one explode on my altar. Very frightening. This is why I have fire extinguishers all over my house. We can never be too careful. One thing that you can do is make holes in the top of the candle. Those little hand drills, little tiny hand drills used for jewelry, work really well. But whatever you have that you can dig out reservoirs, and then you can add a little bit of oil to the top and sprinkle a little bit of the herb on the top. Then when you have this right here, I like to use a Sharpie, and I will write directly on the glass symbols, what it is, my intention is. Sometimes I'll be doing a healing spell for somebody. I can put in their name on the candle. I can write whatever I want on the outside of this candle. So sometimes glass encased candles actually give you a lot of versatility in how you work with them. Candle magic is one of the simplest ways of working with magic. If you're interested in candle magic, there are some wonderful books available now. Part of being a witch and growing your practice is doing your research. You want to get other people's suggestions and points of view, see what resonates with you. In a sense, part of being a witch is taking responsibility for your spirituality, because it's all about aligning your energy. So that was quick. I hope that answered the questions of how to use the candle dressing. Many blessings.